big exciting news is the 64-bit server. Anybody who's played and is on Cormier knows like the 64-bit servers, while they don't run like a lot different. I don't know if you could actually tell unless you really were like familiar with the game. The loads are a little bit quicker on the 64-bit server. You don't get as many load screen crashes on a 64-bit server, where on 32-bit server, I get load screen timeouts all the time. So like it just makes it so that it loads really quick and it's a lot more stable. In my opinion, I think it's great that they're doing the 64-bit world. We have Cormier. Cormier was introduced for the Lanterns in the Mist event. A lot of us were there. We snagged names. I have my guild Death Smile there. A lot of people play there, right? So like it's good. Right now they have free gold rolls on the server for the entire month. I think the gold rolls end in the second week in July, I think, somewhere around there. I might be wrong. It's either like the 6th or the 9th of July, the gold rolls end. But like that's super great. Even if you don't play on Cormier, you don't plan to play on Cormier, make a tune over on Cormier, log in every day, grab a gold roll, and then you'll be able to transfer that character to some other server with all of the gold roll loot that you got for free. So I highly recommend doing that. There's no reason not to do it. If you're logging in and playing the game, log in and get your free gold roll on Cormier, even if you're not playing on Cormier. Now, Cormier has a leg up, right, because of the fact that the gold rolls are going on now. So if you can snag the name that you want and go play over there, then why not? When they turn on the other servers, we're getting 2 new USA 64-bit server, and the EU, Europe, is getting 1 server. I think it's going to be in the Netherlands. The 64-bit American servers are at Las Vegas. So my ping on Sarlona, because Sarlona servers are on the East Coast, is like 18. My ping to the west, out in Las Vegas, where the new servers are, it's like 78 or something like that. So like the ping is a lot less, but I think that it's overall like a good thing for the game. So Wednesday, July 9th is when the worlds open from weekly maintenance, and there'll be 3 new 64-bit worlds. So technically there's going to be 4 64-bit worlds, 3 new ones, and Cormier, the existing one. 2 new in the United States called Shadowdale and Thrain, and then the EU's getting Moonsea. So it's up to you guys where you're going to go. I'm not exactly sure yet what's going to happen with the population of the game, where people go. I've said this a few times in game, so if any of you guys are members of my guild Death Smile on Cormier, I've sort of made it known, and in my Discord I've mentioned this as well. Like, I'm not tied personally to any specific server as an entity of itself. So, for example, if it became clear that 95% of our DDO's population went to Shadowdale, I would probably shortly after, during the month of July, like towards the end of July, once we figured out where the populations of the servers sat, I would probably move Death Smile and the guild and all of my account to Shadowdale if it was clear that it was way bigger than every other server. If Cormier, Shadowdale, and Thrain all come in around the same population size, then I'm not going to worry about it. And then if for some reason Cormier is like the biggest, then that's great. We're already there. If Thrain comes in as the biggest server where everybody goes, then we'll probably move there too. And the reason to do that, it's not that I'm just going to jump ship on like Cormier because I should be loyal to it for doing the Lanterns in the Mist. It's more of this is what happens during the hardcore seasons. For any of you guys who did hardcore 1 up to hardcore season 9, it's where all the action is. Like, I want my guild and me and my main tunes and all the stuff I have to be wherever the most action is, because that's when the most fun gameplay is. So I did the 64-bit transfer in Lord of the Rings Online. I have my founder's account over there. I moved them all to a new server, a 64-bit server. I talked about that on my YouTube channel a bit, and here on Twitch too. I didn't live stream it when I did that, but I did talk about it. The move overall went pretty well. Like in this game, we're getting a command, then they go over it in this explanation here, this pack command. So you'll be able to do like /pack, and it's going to pack up your character, get it ready to move. We didn't have to do that in Lotro. In Lotro, it was more of a when you went to the transfer window, there was like a button you could click that would move your account stuff. But Lotro is a bit of a different game because they don't have guild ships. They have like guild houses. We have player housing and a whole bunch of other stuff. But overall, the process was smooth. My biggest complaint about the process was when I did the move between my character leaving its origin server and arriving on the actual server, the 64-bit server, was about 2 weeks, and it was sort of up in the air. So I really couldn't play. So like that's kind of what I'm worried about in July. Like, will we be able to pack up our character, move, and then like play shortly after that? Or is it going to be another, I can't log my main character in for a week because I'm in limbo? We'll see. In Lotro, the limbo happens because most people went to, there were I think 4 64-bit servers. Most people went, and when I say most people, like 95% of the people went to one specific server. That just so happened to be the server that I picked, so I was on the biggest server. But it caused them a lot of like headaches because they were seeing in real time what the actual ceiling was for the population on the server. It just caused a lot of copy delays for characters. And so they actually had to turn off transfers to that specific server for a while and then encourage people to go to the other 3. But that one still maintained like the massive population. So that's what I'm saying about Shadowdale, Thrain, Moonsea, and Cormyr. We don't know yet what the population of the game for DDO is going to do. However, I definitely want to play wherever everyone is. So if it's clear that all the streamers, all the content creators, all the raiding guilds, all of the LARPers, all of the e-cat girls, they all go to like Thrain, then I'm going to go to Thrain, basically. If it's on Cormyr, then I'll stay on Cormyr. If everybody goes to Shadowdale, so we'll move. If, though, for some weird reason, they all come in around the same population size, then I'm not going to worry about it. You know, because right now we have, like, Cormyr, Arganesson, and I think it's maybe Sarlona is the 3rd or 4th. So, like, I'm on Sarlona now. Argo's busier than Sarlona. Cormyr's way busier than Sarlona, but like, you know, it's cool. Like it's okay as long as I'm on a I just don't want to be like, my worry is that Cormyr, this is just a worry. This isn't going to happen, but Cormyr or Shadowdale or Thrain or Moonsea become the new Wayfinder. And anybody who's played on Wayfinder knows, like, there's 20 people on Wayfinder. And so it makes it real. Like, if you're a solo antisocial wants, like, I'm super introverted and I can be super antisocial, but it's not the best experience for DDO because DDO is really at its best when you're playing in a party with people, either a pug, people you don't know, or even better, if they're your ultra buddies, you can run around and have a good time, right? So the whole idea is I want to be where everybody is. I like helping people. My guild is there to help people to have fun. You know, like, I give out what I can. Everybody in my guild is officered. Like, and I stand on business of you guys having fun. That's what I try to do. So anyway, so back to what they're doing. They're giving us this pack command that lets you wrap up your character to move everything, and it really sounds like it's moving everything. Astral shards, all the guild stuff. And so what I learned from doing Lord of the Rings Online, doing this, what that means is you want to do, so if you have a guild and you're a guild master, you want to move the guild master first. So we're going to pack up the guild master and move him first. And then once he's on the new server or she's on the new server, then once they're there, anybody else in the guild, when they do the pack up and move, they should just pop up in the guild on the new server, no problems. And that's exactly what I experienced in Lord of the Rings Online. There was no issue at all. Everybody in the guild stayed in the guild. I just had to move the guild master first. But this is what I was saying about being in limbo. I did the Guildmaster move. It was my first tune, my main tune. I did the move, and it was like 2 weeks, man. I kept trying to log it in, and it just wasn't there. There was just a lag between me doing the move and the tune actually showing up on the server. I don't think it was like full 14 days, but it was like 10 days. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. Like in TDO, we flip back to TDO really quick. This character, this is the GM of the guild. This is my main character. So if I pack up this character, then this is going to move, this is the guild on Sarlona. Now, if I'm going to pack up and move this character to Cormyr, I don't need to move the guild because I've already got a guild on Cormyr that's even a higher level than this, right? So likely what I would do is just leave the Guildmaster spot on my main and just move the main and just let one of my alts be, one of these alts that I have be the Guildmaster on Sarlona until I figure out where I'm going to move it. But if you were the Guildmaster, you wanted to move it to a 64-bit server, that's what I'm recommending is you pack it up and then you move it before anybody else in the guild moves it. Just tell everybody, if you've got people like, look, I'm going to move the Guildmaster, and then wait. I'm there. I'll let you guys know when I'm there. And then once I'm there, then everybody moves. And then everybody should just be like pulled in and everything should work well. Is it 100%? I mean, we'll have to see how it goes. Hopefully, though, like the transfer process doesn't take forever, but they're grabbing everything. Creature stable, that's awesome. And I guess it's going to merge if you already had a stable on the server and your like mounts, it's going to put them all together. So you're not going to lose anything. Your monster manual, the Astral Charge is like the biggest one. Like if you're like me and you basically like for a couple of years, I have a lot of Astral Charge on my main account because for a lot of years I didn't actually play the game. I would log in and just do like auction house stuff. So I amassed a lot of Astral Charge because that's really all I was doing at the time. It just so happens it's cool to have them because you can buy stuff with them. But one of the things that was bad about Astral Charge is that they're stuck on the one server. So like this is good that they allow us to pack these up and move them. The shared crafting storage. So like probably what I'm going to do is like prep. I'll probably put a whole bunch of stuff into the character's actual storage, but you don't want to have anything in a reincarnation cache before you move. You don't want to have any mail. You don't want to have any auctions. You basically want to like wrap up all the business you're doing on your character and then lock it all down. It looks like it is taking your shared bank. It is taking the platinum vault that's shared between all your characters, and it is taking the crafting storage. So like on my main account, I have like so many, I don't even know how many things I have in my crafting storage. A lot. Years worth of stuff. We can go take a look. I mean, so I'm going to move all of this. And then I think what they're doing, like, I don't think there's a limit. So I think if you move to a server and then for some reason you decided that it was not the right server for you, well, you have a month, you can move again. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to limit us for like one move per character thing, I think that you'd be able to go. So like if made a mistake or something, you see I have like 1,800 items in my crafting storage. You could make an argument that I have way too much junk. Like, do I really need to have 40,000 funerary tokens? Probably not, but you're looking at 20 years worth of, this is like 20 years worth of me picking this stuff up off the ground, man. Like, and it's just like, what do I use these funerary tokens for? So, I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff in here I could probably get out and delete. Like these quail feathers, man. I have in my stable, I have all of I think I have every mount that you can get in the game. I think I have all the rare mounts. Like I have this, I think this is one of the rarer mounts. I don't know if you've probably seen it. The albino dinosaur. Like I already have all these really weird mount. So like I don't need to go and get the horses from those feathers. So technically I could probably throw those feathers away, but it's one of the things in DDO. This is kind of like an unspoken rule, and you'll hear other people say this, not just me. I'm not a burning bush. I don't know what I'm talking about. Usually I'm an idiot, but generally I don't throw anything away, right? So that's one of the reasons there's so much stuff, is the way the DDO works. I save everything. I don't throw it away because you never know if it's going to be useful. Guild is voting, Thrain is winning, and then European refugees are going to Moonsea. Yeah, I mean, so that's what we'll see. We're going to see what happens with the population of the game, where everybody goes. And I'm not in a rush. Like, we're on Cormyr now, Cormyr 64. Probably what I would do. So if 95% of the population went to Thrain, right? Well, what I would do is probably wait until like the beginning of August or the end of July, just to make sure that like the population was settled in, and then talk to people on Cormyr and then move. And then what I would probably do, based on what happens with Cormyr, or what's the other one, Shadowdale, I would probably take my Sarlona guild and move it to whatever the next biggest server was, you know, like. And then but I don't think I'd ever play on that second server. I would just want to move my guild there because they're going to shut Sarlona down. So I need to move it off of that anyway. But we'll see what happens. I think most people are favoring Thrain with the idea that they're going to be able to snag names, because Cormyr, you can't really do that now because it's been around for a while and it had an event on it, so a lot of people made tunes over there. So I know personally, like, I have 50 different names. I wasn't able to get, like, I was able to get my main name, but I wasn't able to get a lot of my other names on Cormyr. So, you know, but do I really care? To be honest with you, no, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't really matter. As long as I get my main, that's really all I care about. Nostalgia is going to, like, not matter because they're deleting the 32-bit servers. Like, all of the, like, Sarlona, all the nostalgia from that is going to be deleted. So reincarnation cache needs to be emptied out. No auctions. Yeah, wait for your guild your guild leader to go, and then the daily dice. Although the daily dice status, I mean, yeah, and here are the instructions if you're a guild leader. So, like, I'm just gonna follow this exactly based on whatever we do, and then character and guild renames. We'll see what happens. I mean, the biggest issue I can see happening are the guild, you know, the guild names, right? Like, yeah, and all these servers are getting deleted. Wayfinder needs to be deleted. It should have been deleted years ago. But it's sad to see these. Like, a lot of these communities, I've played with a lot of people from all these different servers on hardcore. They're all really good, really cool. I have dice tunes on all of them too, so I'll probably move all those dice tunes off, you know, onto whatever server becomes the main. And I'm probably, to be honest, just gonna delete a lot of characters that I just don't plan on playing. And so once they turn on the move, we're gonna have, like, it's like 5 or 6 weeks to do this move. And so that's what I was saying, like, during those first few weeks, I'm really not going to worry about it, other than, like, logging into these new servers to grab, like, some character names and maybe snag my guild, you know, like that type of thing. But I'm just going to wait to see, it looks like on the DDO audit, what they do with the population, like where people go. If SSG, like, notices one server is just blasting out way ahead of the others, they might actually, like, turn transfers to it off for a while, like they did in Lotro. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, basically that's what I'll end up doing. I'll end up moving to whatever the biggest server turns out to be. And then that'll be it. That'll be the new DDO life going forward, will be whatever that is, right? I personally, because the population of people who log in and play DDO on a day-to-day basis is around 1,500 people, it varies between 1,000 and 2,000 people, right? There are like, let's say 10,000 people who in a cycle of like 3 months will all log in. But if you look at the day to day, it's like 1 to 2,000 people. And so the max population for a 64-bit server is like 3,500 at one time, concurrent players, right? So like we have way enough space on these 64-bit servers to hold the entire game. So I was kind of upset. It's not really the right word, but I didn't want them to turn on so many 64-bit servers. I was kind of hoping for like one extra US server and then one EU server. The fact that they added yet another USA server just made, like, I'm just worried one of them is going to wind up like Wayfinder and nobody's going to be on it. But I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything. The other thing too, and this is just my personal opinion, is the addition of the EU server, I think, is bad. And the reason I say that is because what I learned in hardcore and what I see on Sarlona and what I see on Cormier, when I log in at different times of the day, we have people from all over the world. We have people in Deathsmile from Asia, from Europe, from Great Britain. We have people from Australia. So if those people are then encouraged to then play on a different server, our population is going to go down. Friends that I made are going to not be playing with me because they're going to be playing on EU. And I just think, like, if you're in a raiding guild, like, people are definitely going to be talking about this. What do you do if you're a raider and you're in a guild on Arganessen, for example, and now you just happen to be playing from Australia? Are you going to go play in EU where all of your friends are going to be playing on a Las Vegas American server, the people that you raid with? Like, I don't know. That's kind of, not super psyched about seeing that. We'll see how it goes, though. And then they're getting rid of the DDO. The old DDO forums are being completely deleted, 100%. So if you want to make a backup of any of the data, you have to go there and like snag the text, like, make a copy of that stuff. They're up until the end of August this year, and then they're just turning the server off. I have all my old posts there, but I honestly don't care. Like, it's just, other than nostalgia, just to see like posts that I made 15 years ago and whatever. Deimos. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going to be. So right now, to answer your question, where am I headed to staying on Cormier? I'm on Cormier. We're basically, so they're going to turn on the server transfers in July. The date is here. You pack up your character July 9th, right? Well, I'm going to start moving my characters off of Sarlona and all these other servers. Like, I have characters all over these servers, right? I'm probably going to move them to Cormier initially, because what I want to do when I pack up all my stuff, I want to get all the stuff I have across all the different servers, all the Aster shards, all the mounts, like, I don't know about you guys, but like a good example of what I'm talking about is these creature companions. Well, I was on a server where Cordovan logged in, and he was just doing like a flyby, throwing out like these weird pet rocks. So you guys might have a pet rock, right? But so I have one of those on like a server. I just want to like consolidate everything weird like that. Like on Sarlona, I showed you guys, I'll show you again. I have a mount that I only have on this server because it came with something, like I only got one copy of it, this albino dinosaur. Well, so I'm going to move this onto Cormier with everything else. So I'm just basically going to take all the characters with all the stuff. I'm going to pack them up, and then we're going to move to Cormier probably initially, right? And then what I'm going to do is wait and see, because this is going to go on. It starts July 9th, but it doesn't end until August 31st, right? So we got like 6 weeks. I'm going to go to DDO audit once they add these new servers, Shadowdale, Thrain, and Moonsea, and Cormier. and we'll just watch in real time what the population looks like. And if SSG issues a warning that they're shutting off transfers to Thrain because literally 95% of the player base has gone to Thrain, we'll know that Thrain is the biggest server. And then what I'll do, I'll consolidate everything that's on Cormyr. I'll talk to people in the guild, and then what I'll end up doing is packing that up, deleting junk that I'm not taking with me, and then move to Thrain. Or if Shadowdale becomes the biggest, I'll move to Shadowdale. I highly doubt Moonsea is going to become the biggest, but it could happen. You never know. Likely, I don't think I'd want to go to Moonsea though, because I don't know what my ping will be on Moonsea. It'd probably be like 200 or something like that. But to be honest with you, if it became clear that 95% of the population of the game was on Moonsea, I'd probably consider it. I just want to be where everybody is playing, because that's one of the reasons that the game plays so cool during hardcore, is because we have the most players. You look at the LFMs, they're busy all day, all night, because we've got the servers full. So I want to be on a full server. I don't want to be, if Cormyr is the smallest server, I don't want to be on like the new 64-bit Wayfinder. You know what I mean? So, and I put a lot of work into Death Smile, the guild, for everybody. So I want everyone who plays in Death Smile to have the best experience possible. And I think that's only going to be possible by being on the biggest server. So I'm not really tied to a specific server. So that's kind of my plan. The initial July 9th is going to be logging into these new servers, snagging a couple names. What I'll start doing is moving my tunes off of these old servers onto Cormyr, and then consolidating everything and deleting stuff. Like I've said this before, I have probably copies upon copies of things that I just don't know, because the way the banking works in this game, it's so difficult to keep track unless you like make a spreadsheet, and I'm just not in the mood to make a spreadsheet. So it'll be nice to see, like, do I have 14 snow stars? Can I delete 13 of them and just keep one? Like, there's no reason I need to keep all that stuff. The other thing too is, like, I'll finally be able to like finish some of the relics, because I'll be able to consolidate all of the weapon XP and just basically blast a bunch of the weapons up. I'll be able to delete a lot of characters right now that I just keep as storage tunes, because I won't need them. So that's it for this news about the 64-bit. I will definitely keep you guys in the loop for anything that I decide to do, especially if you guys play with me in Death Smile. There'll be no surprises. I'll be posting about it in Discord. Everybody's free to, if they want to join the Discord, join the Discord. And then I've been talking about it in game, so I'll let everybody know whatever I decide to do with the Cormyr Death Smile. Right now, though, we're definitely not moving initially. It would be based on wherever the population winds up swelling. So especially if, like, because I make content, I want to be where other content creators are. So if people want to collab, not that I do a lot of collabs, but that could change if we have most of the content creators on one server, because right now a lot of content creators are spread out across a whole bunch of different servers. I'm on Sarlona. There's a few content creators on Sarlona, but there's a bunch on Argo. There's a bunch on Thelanis. It'd be nice if everybody was just on like one server, right?